savez que nous allons considérer aussi le plan en 10 points du président Zelensky. La Belgique a décidé de s'investir dans tout ce qui est sécurité énergétique de l'Ukraine et pour ce qui est évidemment de l'élargissement en tant que tel. Nous en parlerons certainement. Je sais que l'Ukraine a fait pas mal de progrès et elle nous rappelle aussi, grâce à ces progrès, la nécessité de défendre nos valeurs de démocratie, de respect de l'intégrité territoriale, de respect des droits humains et des libertés fondamentales. We are waiting for the report of the Commission. It will be in October. In a few weeks, we will have more information about the progress, but we are talking also about the possibility to phase the enlargement. So it is. We will wait for the process, the report of the European Commission.
Okay. Good morning. This is a truly historic and also symbolic moment when the leaders of foreign ministries of countries of European Union meet here in Kiev. We came here to express our full support for sovereignty and territorial integrity of Ukraine. And we came here to support your integration ambition to the European Union. This year will be very important for this. In November there will be evaluation, and in December the leaders of our countries will meet and will decide how to proceed. Thank you.
Today, the European Union and its member states are here in Ukraine. We are here to support our Ukrainian friends and Ukrainian people. We are going to discuss the various parameters of our comprehensive support strategy for Ukraine. Our position is a principled one. It stands on the opposition to aggression, the opposition to legality, and we are going to be standing next to Ukraine for as long as it takes.
Good morning. It's nice to be in Kiev. I haven't been here. I've been in Ukraine many times during the war, but I haven't been in Ukraine since I was Prime Minister back in 2016. And I think the most encouraging thing is that the city pretty much looks like herself. I think we are sending a very strong signal by gathering all the European foreign ministers here on invitation by Kuleba. We are going to discuss the follow-up on Vilnius. Denmark is very, very supportive of a permanent assistance mechanism towards Ukraine, 20 billion euro. That would be a nice follow-up on the Danish-Ukraine fund, which bring Denmark at the top when it comes to supporting Ukraine. I'm also pleased to announce today that we are going to open a new embassy office in Mykolaiv. On the request of President Zelensky, we have taken upon a special responsibility for the recovery of Mykolaiv and that particular region. And Thursday this week, we will have a full office up and running in Mykolaiv. So I hope that this meeting will show strong support to Ukraine's rightful fight for freedom and gaining full territory in the Ukrainians' hands once again. Thank you. Yeah.
In the temporary budget, this is weakening of US support, and can Europe step in
I think Europe have already stepped in. If you look at the figures announced by the Kiel Institute, it's right to say that Europe pay her part, but we should be ready to do even more. For many good reasons. First of all, in order to support Ukraine, but also to send a strong transatlantic signal that what's going on our own soil is something we have to take upon a great responsibility for. Of course, it would be much nicer if Ukraine had been included in that temporary mechanism, but I found great relief in the very strong message from President Biden that there is no doubt that the US will support Ukraine. Denmark took the lead together with the Netherlands in the F-16 coalition with strong support from the US. And I also want to use this opportunity today to announce a Danish contribution to the US-led counter-cyber facility. And that is a clear signal that the US is on board, and of course we need US. Thank you.
Very serious steps, very serious doubt whether we are truly meaning what we're saying, we are until many messages sent from Brussels kind of power is still doubt. And I hope that they can fix it and send a very clear message that Europe is playing under the sector. And we can commit, and we can say that we're committed very seriously to European alliance with Ukraine, to military, continuous military assistance, for you manage to break that line. And we're committed to accountability, find solutions that Ukraine combine just step out, find out that they're for them. And
Buongiorno. In English it's okay. Good morning everybody. We are here because we want to strengthen Ukraine. We want to back this country. We want to defend international law. Of course, we want to achieve peace. It is impossible to achieve peace without justice. Justice is freedom and independence of Ukraine. Today, Italy signed an agreement on the reconstruction of Odessa Cathedral. Italy will work for the reconstruction with our architect, the best Italian architect, will be protagonist of this action. It is a clear cultural and political message to Ukraine. I think Americans will decide, and also the other countries. For me, it's a mistake in this moment to decide no what to Ukraine. Every country is free. I think in this moment we need to work in favor of Ukraine.
So good morning to everyone. I'm really glad to be in Ukraine again. This is the first time that we have a meeting of 27 EU foreign ministers in Kiev. It sends a strong message of how united we are in our support to Ukraine. Today we will discuss how can we strengthen our security commitments to Ukraine in line with Ukrainians' needs. Of course, my country, Croatia, welcomes and supports all these efforts. We understand well what Ukraine is going through. because we had a similar experience of aggression in the 1990s. This is why we can and do provide assistance in many areas, from demining and recovery to investigating of war crimes. In less than 2 days, Croatia will host, together with Ukraine, an international donors conference on demining in Ukraine, in Zagreb, and we hope to draw more global attention to this important issue, which Croatia, as well as the European Union, sees as a condition for Ukraine's recovery. So, thank you so much. The line is still long.
On behalf of Bulgaria, I would like really to express our support. We are here to support Ukraine, its sovereignty, its territorial integrity within its internationally recognized borders. Maybe just three main messages. First of all, we'll continue to support Ukraine in a diplomatic, political, military and humanitarian aid, and you know that Bulgaria is strongly committed accordingly to the decisions of the national parliament. Very recently, we took the decision to lift the ban for the export of the Ukrainian grain, and for us that's a huge opportunity first to show our solidarity and to show that the new mechanism will work, will function, and after to discover new perspectives for the connectivity of this part of Europe, because the Black Sea region is a region of strategic importance. Finally, we support the formula of peace, the President Zelensky. We strongly believe that this process should be led by Ukraine. We have a very strong building blocks. It's up to us now to work for concrete achievements. So again, full solidarity, full support. Let's be concrete and let's work for Ukraine and Ukrainian people. Thank you.
Good morning. This is an historical moment. We are here together with the European foreign ministers, the first council meeting in Kiev. The everyday resilience of Ukrainians and their fight for their territory, to defend their territory, their country, are highly commendable. We are here to send a strong message of support for Ukraine. Romania is a strong supporter of Ukraine for as long as it takes. We will discuss the security and military situation in Ukraine and the assistance for Ukraine, both bilaterally within EU and NATO. The security situation in Ukraine and around Ukraine is dire. Romania, the EU member states, having the longer border with Ukraine, understands very well the consequences of the war in Ukraine. You know that parts of the Russian drones were found on the Romanian territories. The Russians' attacks on the civilian infrastructure, including on the ports on Danube, very close to the Romanian border, are war crimes. For us, it's important to continue the support for Ukraine. What the Russia is doing close to our borders is undermining the Ukrainian economy, the food security, including at the global level, and also the navigation, the civil navigations in the Black Sea. Romania will continue its effort in supporting Ukraine with the transit of the Syrians. Until now, more than 25 million tons of Ukrainian cereal transited Romania via solidarity lanes. We are working closely with the Ukrainian government, with the European Commission, with our partners to increase the transit capacity from 2 million tons monthly to 4 million tons by the end of this year. It is also important to discuss the accession negotiations. Romania strongly supports the accession negotiations and the opening of accession negotiations with the EU by the end of this year. I'm confident that today's discussion will send a strong message of support for Ukraine and its people. Thank you.
It is really important to meet here today to show our solidarity with Ukrainian people, and the brave soldiers who fight every day for freedom, for our freedom. The Netherlands is deeply committed to support Ukraine as long as it takes, whatever it takes. We do that with our F-16 coalition, and the Netherlands is also lead nation on accountability. We need to hold Russia accountable for their war crimes, for their aggression. And it is important to put pressure on Russia with sanctions. We have to do whatever it takes, as long as it takes, for the freedom of the people of Ukraine. Thank you. I'm sorry, I can't understand you. As the Netherlands, last period we have made a lot of effort to get weapons here in Ukraine with the tanks, the battle tanks, but also with the Panzer howitzer. And now we are working together with a lot of countries for the F-16s. It is so important that soldiers of Ukraine have good ammunition, have good weaponry to fight for the people of Ukraine, but also to fight for the freedom of Europe. It's not only the war of the Ukrainians, but it's also a war of Europe as a continent. I feel that deeply. Thank you.
It's a very strong Danes bomo poslali tudi habija konvencijo, na novo smo prvi sedež v začetku septembra v Kijevu, konvencijo, ki skrbi za humanitarno razminiranje, za pomoč žrtvam vojne, za psihosocialno pomoč otrokom, da je že pisali, sem govorila, da je vse lahko Slovenija svoje znanje, svoje strokovno pomoč ljudi. Prav tako je naša skrb seveda jedrska varnost, glede na to, da poteka eno vojno Slovenija je negativno, da se rekla, da se vojno jedrske lugar, ki imamo znanje strokovnjake. Zagotovo pa to tema tudi širitev Evropske unije, sosedstvo Slovenija.
We in Latvia are very clear that Ukraine is to win, and we have been doing everything in our power to help Ukraine to win. Latvia has already given in all kinds of aid, mostly military, to Ukraine, around 1% of our total GDP, and we are working for long-term support to Ukraine. Of course, the first thing that we have to focus on now are immediate military needs and helping to go through the winter, through the coming winter. But long term, we are also working on reconstruction, and it's very important to start to work on reconstruction right now. Latvia is on the ground in Chernihiv region, one of the first ones, and we're proud of that, and we will continue working towards reconstruction. On Ukraine peace initiative, it is extremely important to help with global outreach, and we are doing all that we can also in that. Regarding European integration, Ukraine's place is in Europe, and therefore we are helping Ukraine to get there. Ukraine still has things to do, but a lot has been done in the integration process. From our side, from Latvia's side, we are working towards getting the invitation to negotiations by December. But of course, there are still things that need to be done. And from Latvia's side, we are ready to contribute, help with our experience because it's reasonably recent that we did go through the process ourselves. Yes. I think there is quite a good consensus. When we look at the European Union's track record, it's very good. It's very strong. We have seen a lot of support, and I think the fact that we are all here also shows how wide the support is.
foi convocada pelo alto representante Borrell para Kiev, uma reunião de ministros dos estrangeiros da União Europeia. É uma mensagem muito forte de solidariedade e de compromisso em relação à Ucrânia. Estão cá todos os 27 países da União Europeia representados, quase todos a nível de ministro. Vamos discutir o reforço do apoio militar, o reforço do apoio financeiro e também o reforço das sanções e, sobretudo, vamos manifestar a nossa solidariedade em relação à Ucrânia no seu país, no seu processo de integração na União Europeia. Nós, nos 27 países da União Europeia, somos todos democracias. Há eleições periódicas e cada ano há 3, 4, 5 eleições. E mudam os governos nos vários países. A União Europeia tem uma posição muito clara, muito forte. Não acredito que as eleições na Eslováquia mudem aquilo que é a posição da União Europeia. É um sinal que se pretende o mais forte possível de compromisso com a Ucrânia. No caso de Portugal, vem 5 semanas depois da visita do presidente Marcelo de Sousa. Haverá também a oportunidade, do meu lado, para uma conversa bilateral com o vice-primeiro-ministro da Ucrânia sobre relações Portugal-Ucrânia, como é que podemos trabalhar mais e melhor juntos para reforçar o apoio de Portugal. Portanto, o sinal que se dá é um sinal de forte solidariedade da União Europeia e também de Portugal, naturalmente. Muito obrigado.
Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Notre présence aujourd'hui à Kiev est tout d'abord un geste diplomatique exceptionnel. Les 27 ministres des Affaires étrangères européens sont réunis aujourd'hui ensemble pour la première fois et ils tiendront plusieurs réunions de travail avec le président Zelensky. Ça veut dire que nous sommes aux côtés de l'Ukraine. Je le redis, c'est une première et nous sommes aux côtés de l'Ukraine au sens propre, ici tous ensemble aujourd'hui. Et nous voulons lui témoigner par ce geste notre soutien plein et entier et dans la durée pour que l'Ukraine recouvre sa souveraineté, son indépendance, recouvre son intégrité territoriale comme elle le doit. Et nous sommes à ses côtés pour défendre les principes fondamentaux de la Charte des Nations Unies, ceux qui permettent la sécurité non seulement sur notre continent, mais bien au-delà. Donc cette réunion est d'une particulière importance. Elle montre aussi, bien sûr, que l'Ukraine pour nous fait partie de la famille européenne et que nous l'accompagnerons sur ce chemin qui l'amène vers l'Europe. Voilà une journée importante et au-delà du symbole, c'est la manifestation de notre soutien résolu, durable, à ses côtés et jusqu'à ce qu'elle puisse l'emporter. Merci beaucoup.
Madame Kuleba, une question en plus. Vous parlez de la portée symbolique de cette venue aujourd'hui. Est-ce qu'il y aura des réponses concrètes également sur le problème des armes, par exemple, et des souvenirs attendus du concret? Il n'y a pas de symbole.
Bien sûr qu'il n'y a pas de symbole. Nous travaillons, et vous êtes ici. Alors, la question était au-delà du symbole sur les gestes concrets que permettra cette réunion. Et je répondais qu'après la visite du ministre des Armées français, après le forum de l'armement qui s'est tenu ici la semaine dernière, nos pays aujourd'hui, au niveau politique, diplomatique, regarderont comment soutenir l'Ukraine, comme cela a été prévu en marge du sommet de Vilnius, dans la durée pour donner de la visibilité à nos industriels, donner de la sécurité à ce pays, donner aussi à la Russie le message qu'elle ne doit pas compter sur notre lassitude. Nous serons là pour longtemps. Pour ce qui concerne la France, nous avons déjà engagé ce travail bilatéral avec l'Ukraine et nous travaillons depuis quelques semaines déjà à ce qu'on appelle un Memorandum of Understanding, une façon de contractualiser sur la longue durée, 3 ans, 5 ans, peut-être davantage, le soutien que nous apporterons à l'Ukraine sur le plan bilatéral. Soutien économique, soutien humanitaire, soutien en matière de reconstruction, mais aussi soutien militaire et soutien juridique. Voilà le travail qui est engagé. J'espère qu'il sera terminé à la fin de l'année. C'est ce que Dmitró Kuleba et moi-même sommes convenus il y a quelques semaines quand il est venu à Paris. Merci.
Est-ce qu'il y a une préoccupation à Paris pour ce qui se passait la dernière semaine, week-end à Washington, et le fait que les États-Unis ne pourraient pas aider financièrement l'Ukraine? Est-ce qu'il y a une préoccupation que l'Europe elle est plus si les États-Unis
Je comprends votre question. Je répondais à celui qui m'a interrogé. Je comprends votre question, monsieur, mais j'ai noté surtout les assurances données par le président Biden. Et pour nous, il ne fait aucun doute que les États-Unis resteront aux côtés de l'Ukraine. Il y a trop d'enjeux, au-delà de la question existentielle qui se pose pour ce peuple, cette nation, ce pays. Il en va de la défense de l'ordre international fondé sur les règles. Il en va de notre sécurité à tous. Donc nous abordons cette question unie, avec confiance. Je ne peux pas imaginer qu'il en aille autrement. Merci beaucoup. Je dois cette fois-ci laisser la place au suivant.
Merci.
Merci.
Hello. I will just start with very brief mentioning that we are here today to show unity and support to Ukraine. Especially Czechia is really doing quite a lot to help Ukraine. First of all, in terms of military help, we are sending a lot of ammunition, equipment, heavy equipment. We are helping Ukraine through humanitarian development aid. We have joined the 10-point Zelensky plan for peace effort. We are co-chairing the group on nuclear security, point number 1, and also Czechia accepted 500,000 war refugees, and we are providing them shelter and accommodation. So, yeah. This is a very specific question, but the main point is that Czech companies are very successfully providing a lot of services and heavy equipment for Ukrainian army. We are very proud of that since it helps Ukrainians to fight against enemy.
And how many businesses already support Ukraine even before the enemy?
There were quite a companies, and I hope that the Czech companies will also be able to part in the reconstruction effort. This is also a branch of our activities. Yesterday, a few days ago, in this very hotel was a very successful conference on defense. I'm happy that also Czech companies were present and show what they can do for Ukraine nation to defend itself.
Minister, are you concerned about the election of Mr. Fico?
Yes.
Is this going to be trouble for Europe?
Slovak voted. They have elected a new parliament, and let's see what will be the new governing coalition in Slovakia, which parties, who will be the prime minister. I think it's an open question. It's up to Slovak to decide who will lead their country. But I have to say that I believe that Czech and Slovakian relation will keep their very good standard. We have a very open and friendship relationship in this sense. Because of our common history and our closeness, so I don't expect that any kind of government would change that.
And you're not worried that a future Slovak government could change its policy in Ukraine?
I think all actors basically stated that they want to be part of the EU, part of NATO, and let's see what will be the future government. Definitely, I'm not afraid. I think Europe is able to repeatedly show unity in support of Ukraine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
report